Some of the most passionate surf fans you'll ever see. We see Jordy Smith finding some cover right in the opening stages of this round 3 matchup. A little, a bit of an awkward finish there from Jordy Smith. Brad Bricknell here alongside former big wave world champion Pete Mel. Pete, we're into round 3 and the waves, you have to say, they actually are firing. Well, it's a big matchup now. We're into the round where the last place here will get a 13th place finish overall. Talk us through this drop from Jordy Smith.
Nice size set wave. Again, holding that speed, trying to drive through the barrel. That's what the judges have been asking for. Little awkward floater, but he keeps it together. So taking him down in that second round, big feat.
Jordy Smith here from Durban, South Africa. Former world number 2, snaps under the lip and just tries to set his line, but Pete just gets stuck a little bit further down the face of the wave that he would like to have.
That's what happens when you take a lip to the mug.
Here we go. This is Gouveia on his backside now. Gets, he threads that wave absolutely perfectly, and listen to that crowd. This is what we're talking about in the break. The passion of the crowd, really getting behind the local surfers.
Well, and I really think that Jordy actually feeds off it just as much as the Brazilians do, because, he likes to be that spoiler, and I think that when he feels that crowd and he starts to become that showman, he kind of almost wants to turn the crowd in his favor, and it's worked in the past when he won that event here in 2012, I believe. It was one of those things where he turned the crowd and they started cheering for him. As this is a beautiful wave here from Ian Gouveia. He is exceptional in the barrel. He understands, reads tubes well, both on the forehand. Look how he shifts his weight up on the board. Again, driving through the barrel, trying to slow it down at the very end, gets out.
Smith will exercise his right to priority. There's that big power hook into the pocket that we love from the big South African. Looking for a finisher. Unfortunately, that section just reels off ahead of him.
Take a look at Jordy Smith's big turn here. Just one section, lays into it, and just nothing left after that, unfortunately. So he'll just have a mediocre number for that first maneuver. It's going to be a pretty good number, though, for one turn, as he has just been laying into those carves. Love seeing it. Looks like he's on the Chris Gallagher designs.
Gouveia gets his turn, a big late drop into the tube. He's got another section ahead of him. Can't capitalize on that one, though, but beautiful technique on that outside section, Pete.
Well, especially, the fact that he was sliding down the face, and that's we've seen that technique at Pipeline, at Chopo, where you can actually slide down the face, and it's actually a stalling technique.
Oh, so late.
Stripping it right down the face. One of those barrels, too, though, we saw his barrel from before. You got to get deep. In order for the judges to really lift that score up into the good range, you got to get deep. It felt like similar situation there. Just not enough length in the barrel and not deep enough to really garner a huge number. It's a new wave, but last year it was a backup site. We never made it here. We didn't have quite the sizable surf, so they would have had that in the back of their mind.
Here goes Jordy Smith on a big backdoor section, coming out nice and clean there. The South African now, he posted a 3.33 on his last wave. That took him over into the lead. Gouveia in second, looking for a 4.18. And I think we have Kaipo Guerrero down on the beach, speaking of Jordy Smith, with his coach. This time, though, Pete Mel, Ian Gouveia getting the jump over Jordy Smith.
4.33 over 3.33 for Jordy Smith. But look at this. Again, coming from behind it, and you can see that actual wave moving in front of him. Interesting. Look, you can see it right there at the base of the wave. He's behind it, so he's never really on top of it until then. Wow. And, of course, that makes it a little bit difficult to really actually negotiate the barrel, but the barrel actually slowed up.
Thank you for your time. We'll let you get back into heat, and we'll let you guys get back into heat on the set. Waves.
Thanks, guys. Fabio's son. This is Ian Gouveia just trying to find a line through this inside section. Now it rifles off the bank, and he comes through that section. Listen to the crowd, punctuated with a big free-fall floater. Ian Gouveia, the crowd erupts.
Crazy.
And he is,
he knows it.
He's having a ball out here at Baiinha.
That's going to go excellent. And the crowd right there, you see Jordy over his shoulder. What just happened?
What just happened then?
The beginning of that wave, he was kind of outrunning it, and then that next section comes up. But you know what? I think the best part of that wave was the closeout smash he does. Watch this. Takes off, again, technique, trying to slow down. The wave doesn't really look like it's going to barrel too much, but the next section down the line, he sees it, gets himself into that tripod position, and is super deep, spit out. But then look at this. Just tags it and drifts. How does he pull that off? That is crazy stuff. That is going to be a gigantic number. Again, looking at it inside the barrel here. Let's see if we can keep our eye on him. He even disappears from view on that angle. But this here, or the drift on that section, that is what you call a critical section. We have seen surfers hit it time and time again. Their boards are breaking in two, but he keeps it together, somehow pulls that one off. Again, that technique, everything moving forward, down the line. This wave's running down the line. We could even see a perfect score. We'll see. It's been tough to find 10-point rides, but this is pretty darn close.
That end maneuver, like you said, Pete, we've seen so many surfers attempt it and just be lit up by that white water. Somehow, even with that drift and direction change on that tail, he manages to hold on, and we are going to see, I'm going to say, the biggest score of the event dropped. You were mentioning
it could be perfect.
Just before we went to the break, we saw the highest scoring wave of the heat thrown down, a 9.93, and we're going to take a replay now at Jordy Smith's wave while we had a little break away from the action.
Well, again, quick little barrel there, fading off the bottom to maximize this tube time. The wave does not stay open, as he does not get that clean exit. You want to come out of the hole flying out, similar to what we saw from Ian Gouveia. Find those little diamonds in the rough.
Still enough time for Smith to mount a comeback here as we see Gouveia again sliding into a little inside section. My goodness, he didn't quite get the, didn't get too deep on that barrel section, but absolutely got lit up on the timing on that closeout maneuver, Pete.
He is not afraid to attack. When the interval changes, that kind of changes as well. So you want to see those two waves connect together, and that's where you see that magical barrel ride.
Here we go, 23 seconds on the clock. Jordy Smith looking for an 8.54. Doesn't quite connect with that barrel section, and it'll leave Gouveia on the outside with 15 seconds and priority. He's going to be caught inside by that one, and you can hear now the beach announcer counting this heat out. It'll be another Brazilian through to round 3 of competition. The crowd acknowledges the performance just being put on there by Ian Gouveia. A comprehensive win in the end there over the South African Jordy Smith. And he now books himself a place in the 4th round, and already his best result of the year.